It's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Let's get into it. A lot of people online think everything is just content now. Everything is jokes, trolling, clout, views, clicks. But some things go deeper than that. Some things affect the spirit of society. And what we're going to talk about today is one of those things. Now, for everybody that's new here, let me make something very clear. I do not believe in racial separation. I don't believe people were put on this planet to hate each other because of skin color, culture, religion, nationality, or where they come from. I believe we are all human beings first. I grew up around all different kinds of people, black, Spanish, white, everything. I come from New York City, Ridgewood, Bushwick, Brooklyn. I've seen struggle, violence, tension, poverty, all kinds of things. I've seen what hatred does to neighborhoods. I've seen what ego does to people. I've seen retaliation. I've seen what happens when people stop seeing each other as human beings. And after all these years, after everything I've seen in life, I come to one conclusion: hate multiplies itself. That's why even when I strongly dislike somebody's behavior, I still try not to become hateful myself. And the scary part is eventually behavior like that stops being internet entertainment and starts becoming real life. And now we see court cases, shootings, legal trouble, bond hearings, allegations, contradictions, and statements. And suddenly the joke ain't a joke anymore. Let me also say this before people twist my words. I don't celebrate violence. I don't celebrate people getting shot. I don't celebrate people destroying their lives. I believe accountability matters, even when they're ignorant, angry, or lost. But at the same time, pressure does not excuse choice. Everybody feels pressure. Everybody's in the rat race, trying to survive, trying to get money, trying to become something in life. But not everybody chooses to chase money through hatred and humiliation. At some point, a person has to take responsibility for the road they walk down. And that's why we're here today, not just to react, not just for outrage, but to really look at what happens when negativity, clout chasing, ego, division, and internet culture spiral into something destructive. So with that being said, let's get into it. Meet Chud the Builder, everybody. Now, there's going to be people out there that know exactly what this is about, and there's going to be people out there that are going to be seeing this for the first time. The man in the jumpsuit is Chud the Builder, aka Dalton Etherly. For the last, I don't know, what's this been, like a year this has been going on? He's been, setting people up so that they would like look at him like, like, you playing with me, like, are you messing with me, like you're trying to get me angry. And what he's doing is he's antagonizing them, and he's doing exactly what they feel like he's doing. And he goes up to people and he says, he says something that he knows will start to upset them. And then after purposely upsetting them, he'll start to tell them, oh, look, they're chimping out, because it's always a black person that he approaches first. And then after he antagonizes them and starts to upset them, when they get upset for pretty much something, anybody will start to get upset if a stranger walks up to them and starts saying, stuff that definitely sounds funny. He starts to tell them that they're chimping out. It's disgusting. It gets to a point where you're not supposed to hide your anger. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce you to Chud the Builder and what's going on. I neglected to mention, it got to the point where he did it to somebody that was a veteran, and the veteran told him something to the effect of I'm not the one. And they started fighting, and Chud the Builder shot the man. Like, he shot the man and then shot himself. Everybody knew eventually that this was going to happen.
Several other matters. When this matter was allegedly committed, I'm looking at an A and really a super D, a C, really 3 C's and an A, really, for tracking kind of purposes. It's pretty serious.
Your Honor mentioned criminal homicide. I thought that was attempted.
I said, did I say homicide? I meant to say attempted criminal homicide if I didn't.
Okay, understood.
I thought I did, but that's still an A felony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a bail
I'm
hearing.
gonna set just a bond right now after we have our bail hearing. Then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at $1.25 million, based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, were here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies and his bond status.
What this man was doing was wrong to the utmost degree. Like what I want to say straight off, straight. I would never mess with a dude like this. You get me? Like he's a clown, you know, in my opinion. You know, if there's somebody out there that don't have the same opinion, and this ain't even about black or white or coming from the streets or coming from Beverly Hills. This is just real life. You understand? This is like if you are a person out there trying to be positive and do good things, and you think you could hang with a guy like him and things are still going to be all right, when something goes down, it's going to be your fault. Because like I said, you got to be careful when you're doing your thing. I would never, ever have a guy like that around me. He is what he is, man. If you can't see what this is about, you know, how he gets down, you know, you got issues. This is bad, you know, and I still pray for him. I pray he changes. I don't know if he would have an epiphany in jail. Usually a dude like this, I wouldn't say there's no hope for, but, you know, he don't get down like a person that wants to change. You know what I'm saying? And he's young with his stupid porn stash. He looks older.
You know, I'm literally dismantling these agenda of TMZ clipping, misrepresenting me. The live stream keeps everything live, keeps it to where no one can say, oh, this guy's like going out and instigating and harassing, even though they banned me for harassing. I walk up to the and I say, hey guys, what's up? How's it going? You guys need any water? You need any food? They said, no, we don't need nothing. Get the camera on.
It's because they know who he is. You know, he's not coming there to give you water. You know, he's there with his equipment trying to get a rise out of people. If he wouldn't have got them to get mad just off for offering them water, he would have took it to something else after the offer of water didn't get them angry. He would have started saying something slowly to get, you know, slick shit so that eventually people would be like, yo, what you mean? And it would end up escalating, and that's when he would start saying the real disrespectful stuff. He's not going to be judged by me. You know, I believe only God can judge, but there's judges all over this planet. We need a legal system. You know, it's just that there's a lot of corruption in the legal system. I do not wish the downfall of people, but I'm not going to act like because of my channel that I don't realize that this guy's a jerk, you know. Or you know what? To keep from calling people out their name, he got issues. He got big, serious issues. He needs help.
My face. I said, hold on. I think we got off on the wrong foot. I said, I asked if you need any water. I said, it's my right to record anybody in a public park. This is Centennial Park that's paid for by the public, Negro.
You see what I mean? For a sec, probably rocked a couple of y'all to sleep.
Get the camera on my face. Hell no. Take the camera on my... Dude.
I talked about it the other day. Society, certain people have no problem with hypocrisy and contradiction. They'll say one thing that they don't like it and blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, they're doing the same thing they just said they don't like. You know, people need to stop being hypocrites and stop contradicting themselves. That the nerve of this man to do all this messed up stuff and then cry over anything. This part right here, you're going to see his true colors come out. This is really bad. It's disgusting. He walks up to homeless people and he's got burgers in his hand, like he's bribing them. Like, you know, what kind of person are you? How do you view humanity that you think it's all right to go up to people that are not doing well and start offering them food, but only if they say certain things? He makes me want to call him out his name, but I'm refraining from that. First of all, it's not even about the channel. It's something that as a man, I don't want to let people make me so angry that I call them out their name. So this is not just about the channel. This is about me changing as a person. But if anybody ever made me want to call them out their name, it's him. If you catch me over there, it's to be helping them.
Come on, get some burgers.
These are people. It don't matter that they're homeless. Some of them are super intellectual. Some have issues or whatever, but you catch people out there that can school you. For you to come run up on these people like they're a different type of life form, that's horrible. In this part, he runs up on one of the homeless people. The homeless man starts telling them, yo, what you're doing is wrong. You know, and you can see he don't want to get angry or disrespect him or say something, you know, call him out his name. He just tells him the truth. He's like, yo, what you're doing is wrong.
But we got to make sure you believe in free speech first. Yes or no? So white people can say, you got to, come on, if you believe in free speech, it's free speech. You don't believe in it? Come on, here. You got to tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? You believe in free speech?
You can't buy. Listen, those people believe in freedom more than anybody else. I guarantee you that. They don't, they would be maybe with it to eat it if you was giving it out the kindness of your heart. But once they realize that there's a hidden agenda, they're like, get out of here,
Yeah, like people can say what they want in America, free speech.
It depends on what you say.
Why people say yes or no?
No. Come on, that's not. Come on.
You're free to go up to somebody and call them every curse word and disrespectful thing you could think of. That don't mean it's okay because of freedom of speech. And my man right here tells them,
Come on, bro. We passed that.
Free speech.
So you brought up the wrong way. You was taught the wrong way.
No.
So
free speech.
You come on. No, say something else better than that, bro. Don't do that.
So the First Amendment says you can say whatever you want.
Still, but you know what we went through. Don't bring
I don't know what you want to do. Chipping out. It's Dom Luca, great value. It's a great value, Dom Luca. Keep chipping out. Keep chipping out. Do it. Try it right now. Try it right now.
He walks around with the thing on him, and that's why he's it's like a dude who gets drunk and he's got courage now. You know what I'm saying? He walks around with that thing and he talks to people like he wouldn't talk to them if he wasn't armed. Dude is a clown with his, look at this. Anyway, he does all this stuff to get money and clout, and he lost because he wrecked his life. I'm over here right now making content. Whether I succeed or I fail, I didn't stoop to disgusting levels to get the money, to get the clout. You get me? I would never jeopardize my pride or my dignity for a man to become so desperate for finances that he would stoop to this level and rationalize it.
He goes into black neighborhoods. He antagonizes people, right? He says they're chimping out, comparing them to monkeys, trying to get them really upset. He then says it's because of free speech. It's not. One of the first things you learn when you're a concealed carry holder is if you use your weapon, right? Because if you start a fight and use your weapon, you're going to lose a self-defense argument, right? The first thing you do in any situation is try to get out of the situation. If you're looking for a legal defense, right? You have to do everything in your power to not use your weapon in order to have a self-defense argument. What about stand your ground? Even in stand your ground, even in Texas, right? I can't just shoot somebody because they got near me, right? That's not self-defense. I thought you have to think that they're a reasonable threat to your safety, but you can't create the threat.
It's shock content. People look at it, they can't believe a guy is doing this. He's another Johnny Somali. That's why I don't feel bad. What happened to him happened to him. You got to grow off that. The best thing I could ever say to Dalton Eitherly, to Chud the Builder, whichever he prefers to be called, the only thing I could say to him now is take this and run with it. Be happy you didn't die from the gunshot to the arm that you inflicted on yourself, and go positive now. Get off this whole dumb shit about freedom of speech and using it as a rationalization on why you do dumb shit. But I was never like this, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. Where I come from, people love me. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? People will co-sign where I'm at, about how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that. You get me? And that has nothing to do with race or nothing like that. It has to do with the fact that I've always had a certain respect to me, a certain honor to me. My father always made sure that I only fought for the right reason and that I cared about people. My mother too, and I don't know if he had the same thing. If he did, I don't get it.
was inevitable after this story blew up that eventually Chud was going to run into somebody that just wasn't going for none of the bullshit. And like I said, of course, that eventually did happen.
Come on outside. My truck's over there. What do you want to holler about? Look at him jumping out. Come on, crack me. Do something. Come on, do something.
He still was lucky and didn't run into the worst of the worst. There's dudes out there so deadly, you know, and they don't just come in one color. You get me? They come in all shapes and sizes, all colors, you know, and they'll end your career for doing this type of stuff. You know, he really didn't run into the right one. He ran into a few dudes, wasn't having it, that they made the situation crazy, but they didn't take it to where it really could go.
Has his right to carry, just like Chud has his right to carry. And as all of this is going down, the picture of who Chud really is starts to become clearer, which is an absolute punk ass bitch, right? Because when faced with the situation where he may actually have to use the firearm, he doesn't use it. In fact, he completely backs down.
Thank God he ain't use it, because he would have ended up taking somebody's life. And he says it like it's something to be proud of. It would have just been such and such with his brains on the floor. If you get hit, it could affect you even if you live. So that man that he shot in front of the courthouse, you know, I'm praying that he doesn't have major difficulties after he heals up.
You gotta perform. All right. Because they're here. Call it what you want. This guy was talking to me cordially. I was. But you start calling me N-word. Don't
See, the dude was trying to take the high road. He said, he was talking to me cordially, and now you're showing off for them. He said, I was talking to you cordially, but then you used the M-word. I'll even rewind that.
All right. Because they're here. Call it what you want. This guy was talking to me cordially. I was. But you start calling me N-word. Hey, what, fool? You got 18 left. I know this person
The other guy that came out of nowhere, I think, is armed. I'm not certain. You so tough. He spit on you. You ain't do nothing. And then you just told him, if you spit on me again, you're going to jail today. How you walk around with a cannon, calling people the N-word, and when it gets crazy, you're going to call the police? That's some of the most clown, bozo stuff I've ever heard in my life.
Wait, you spit on him? Oh, my mom, you just spit on him.
That's what happens when you act like that and you think it can't happen. You get spit on, you know. And what's the crazy thing is that he's feeling the pressure, and now you got that thing on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm glad that it didn't happen, of course. But what I'm saying is you grabbed that thing and started walking around with it, and then you found out that some people don't care. And then the pressure came where you wondered if you were in a bad situation, and I'm glad that his fear didn't make him do something. That's not self-defense. He inserted himself into that situation.
Big bro. You in there, big bro. I'm fit to. I swear I'm fit to.
That's a small taste of what I told y'all before about you can't go to certain places and do that. It don't matter what you got on you. I'm not saying that block ain't wild and it can't get like that. I'm just saying he's there when it wasn't active like that at that moment, you know. But if he was having trouble getting out of there without something going off, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't have hurt somebody, but how does that work out for him and anybody else anyway? If he would go to a more active spot, it would definitely pop off. And what's crazy is that they're not gonna let you draw that. There'll be people everywhere. you know, and that word gets around and they're not going to do anything where they're going to alert you. You know, it could get to the point where you get hit and you don't see it coming. But I'm not happy about any violence. You know, at the end of it all, he's out there telling people crazy stuff. So don't focus on what I'm saying. Focus on what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here saying I don't want to see any violence ever.
Hey, he sleep down. You know what's crazy about? On my mama, he do it for content game. He came. I know, but it's cool. Cause guess what? Look, I see he can't treat nobody like no. Look, on my look. He ain't treating nobody like one. He came in the stove. He was cool. No. He was cool. And he came out the bathroom and I looked. I said, bro, I know you done that. He said you want to preach. I said, bro,
they disrespected him hard. They spit on him, and that's what happens when you go around calling people the N-word with the hard ER.
No, I'm not telling you. I made this because he wasn't even like that until the slapped him. You and I were. He called the police on him. But what he do is he get us amped up and they call the police, bro. Hey, are you screen recording this? All right, so you weren't there when he slapped him? No, I pulled him to get some gas and I seen him. We parked right there. I seen him. Bro. Yeah, I know. That was smart.
He called the police, but when the police showed up, Chud started to realize the error in his ways because the police pretty much didn't.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse. So I thought it stopped at the spitting on, the slapping, but no, it actually gets worse. He called the cops, and the cops know him, and they know he's an antagonizer.
If what you're doing is going around using racial slurs and profanity, that's a little different.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Are you gonna argue that in court? Because I walked into the gas.
How many people got to tell you before you understand you're wrong? You understand? Like, you got the cops telling you, the people you're antagonizing telling you, the judge, probably people around you that know you, that got love for you. You know, because I know there's got to be people that care about him that told him, yo, what you're doing is not smart. You know, if he has anybody that cares about him, even the cops give him the business.
And walked out. And as I'm walking to my truck, I turn around. He's got something behind his back that looks like a gun. It's a drill.
Well, they're saying that.
So I turned. I don't give a f- they're saying. It's all recorded and it's live streamed.
I know. I got you. And I'm just telling you.
And I have every right to say whatever I want on the internet without being chimped out on in public. Okay. All right. You got your idea?
You think the cops didn't notice he said chimped out? And they just told you, we know you're an antagonizer, or if you're gonna antagonize, so they know what's up.
What was your name and badge number?
794001162.
Especially when your officer comes up to me and says, hey, I've seen your content, but don't you think you kind of would expect this? No, I don't expect people to break the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've broken no laws. And so I don't appreciate that being an excuse. Well, I'm on you guys' side. I'm on the side of the law and order. I'm trying to restore law and order. These people.
That's why you're asking them their badge number. That's why you're screaming at them and telling them that's what you're going to say in court when they're telling you what's what, facts. You know, and now you're talking about them on your side. No, you're not. You're on their side if they're on your side. If they're not on your side, you're not on their side.
I think there's a secondary law and order amongst themselves. I don't agree with that. And I'm standing by myself on this principle.
You say this is when it gets, that's disgusting. Like, I can't even say what comes to my mind because, you know, on the strength of the channel, they would, you know, literally if I spoke how I felt about that tweet, you know, they would shut me down. That's why I'm be easy. And I thought the cops were the last thing. Just when you thought he couldn't get more egg on his face, there's more egg on his face. After the cops, he goes to the restaurant and they find out who he is. You know, well, his name rings bells. I'll give him that. The wrong kind of bells, but they ring bells. They realize that they have the amazing Chud the Builder in the building. I'm doing my regular thing and somebody tells me they don't want me there, I'm out. That's it. You don't say no more. You ain't nothing to talk about. He could have saved face if he would have just split when they told him they didn't want him there. But he thinks he's something special.
When they find out who he is, they approach him and they tell him, listen, bro, you've got to turn the stream off. They don't kick him out of the restaurant, but they do tell him he's got to turn the stream off. And things start going downhill from there.
I just confirmed with my security department, and the police department as well is here. And you can't have
Are they swatting us right now?
No, they're just making sure that there's no live streaming, there's no drama in the restaurant.
Yeah, no drama at all. But like I said,
you cannot live stream anything whatsoever. Whether it's silent or it's film, it's got to be off.
okay, well I can't just cut it off right now.
You can't.
I mean, it's like it's off. I can't cut off the stream. I had to go home, get on the server.
You know, Chud was a movie. It stood for Cannibal Humanoid Underground Dweller. It's an old 1980s horror movie.
Nothing's broad.
So you can either turn it off or I'm going to ask you to leave.
Okay. Well, it is off. I don't know what you want me to do more. I can't leave to go
I
turn.
want you to get out.
That's why I said the server is at home.
Right, but you're not live streaming. You're not video because I have feedback that tells me you are streaming live.
Okay, so like I said before, we were streaming for my safety when we leave here, and so I stream before I come and before I leave.
My restaurant, and you can't stream inside.
Okay, that's fine. We can turn the stream off. But like I said, the server is going to be up. If you go on the website and you look it up, the server will still be up. You're gonna still say the stream's live, but it's not going to be recording it. Like that's the only middle ground I can bring you to. Because if I turn the stream off, I would have to go home to the server, click turn the stream off. Like I said, the server is going to be up. If you go on the website and you look it up, the server will still be up. You're gonna still say the stream's live, but it's not going to be recording it. Like that's the only middle ground I can bring you to. Because
That's what I mean. He keeps trying to tell them that the server is in his house and he can't stop the stream unless he goes to his house. To me, I know that equates to you got to get out. He's thinking that the excuse that he can't turn it off unless he gets to his house is going to keep them from kicking him out. Like just leave. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have done. You get me? But I wouldn't have been in that position, to be honest with you. I don't see myself in that position in the future at any time. Maybe when I was young, maybe when I was a child, because, that's child behavior.
if I turn the stream off, I would have to go home to the server, click turn the stream off. As far as this thing broadcasting, I can stop that, but I can't stop you from going to the website and seeing that my stream is still active.
Active is one thing, but if there's content on there, then I can't have any content.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I will honestly, I will have to bring security, and that's good.
That's fair. Yeah, and you wouldn't have to bring security if you wanted to go. You just got to say it.
I just noticed that he was speedy. Now I know why he didn't just leave. I mean, I don't really care. If I was the restaurant, I would just tell him get out. They're stressing the tab. You want the dude out of there, just get him out there.
Almost typed calm as a cucumber, dude.
I know the manager's already spoken to you.
Yeah, a couple of times we've spoken.
Well, I mean, but I guess you're so screwed.
The camera's off. You can see this is the screen.
Yeah, but you made a comment about you can't turn off the server until you're home.
Yeah.
All that, so you're gonna have to go ahead and do that. Like we can't continue to offend everybody else.
Who are we offending?
I'm sorry.
Who are we offending?
People that are watching your stuff. Apparently, some people are.
So because they're offended by my stream, we can't eat here?
Streaming while you're here. Yeah. Doesn't that make sense?
No.
That does make sense.
Not
Yeah.
really.
We're not gonna have.
Hold on. Why are you adrenaline? Your hand's shaking.
Oh, my hand's fine. I'm good. There's no reason for anyone to be upset.
You seem kind of upset.
No,
you streaming now?
Yeah.
We can leave. Hey, Pajit, calm down. Why don't you go to the street? Why don't you go poop in the street? Hey, man, don't get aggressive with me. We'll get up and leave. Thanks for the free food. Hey, Bob's Steakhouse.
They'll take care of it.
Oh, no, we're not paying.
I go get the food.
Y'all are kicking me out, or are we staying?
I thought that he, I know how he is. But I thought he was right about this. I thought, by law, if you get kicked out, you wouldn't have to pay. But it turns out he thought if he stuffed that steak down his mouth fast enough, that he wasn't going to have to pay because they were kicking him out, and he thought he would have the right to not pay the tab. But it turns out if you eat the food, even if they kick you out, you got to pay. He finds out the hard way. Yeah. Life is really going great for this man who has decided to treat people like garbage. I wonder why.
No, you're paying.
Oh, you think?
For what you got, yeah.
Buddy, I didn't get to enjoy my meal. You're kicking me out. I'm not paying. Yeah. Bob's Steakhouse. Check your Google reviews, little midget guy.
I win.
You're not welcome back,
We
okay?
open the toilets around.
You're not welcome back.
Watch your mouth. This is America. You're in my country. You hear me? We're gonna call ICE on that.
What a piece of crap. He said, we're going to call ICE on you to the guy. Unbelievable. What a horrible person.
What are you? What are you? Are you an American?
Go get the officer.
Restaurant calls the police on Chud for skipping out on the bill. All right. Chud does get arrested for this. He does go to jail for this.
Listen, they took me to a building that was not the jail. After they arrested me, they did not take me to the jail to book immediately. They took me to some building. Then some dude in plain clothes gets out. He's clearly a detective. And he takes me into the room in the back of the building, leaves me there for like an hour, again, handcuffed. I'm not gonna lie, he's a nice guy. He tells me that, oh, you know, the FBI is interested in talking to you. We're waiting on him. We sat there for longer. He comes in there and they sit down. He's like, okay, I'm with the terrorist, anti-terrorist organization or whatever unit. So we're sitting there and he's talking to me, asking me questions, saying, are you with any organizations? And I'm like, organization, unlock our card. Okay, it should be unlocked. I'm putting a code on it to force the transaction now. I go to the store, try to work. Doesn't work.
Okay, now I'm no rocket scientist, but if you got the FBI and, you know, members of a detective squad that investigates terrorists asking you if you are part of some kind of cell or group or organization, you know, you've made some wrong moves. It should have been Chud's eye-opening moment. He continued his antics. And even Chud the Builder's biggest supporters started to turn on him, and eventually he gets outed as being somebody who enjoys taking the pipe. All right, so I want to show y'all this clip right here of it.
He runs into this woman that he used to know, if you get my drift. So they've had a relationship of sorts. She's not supposed to talk about the relationship. People get with her. Sometimes they sign non-disclosure agreements. It turns out that Chud is really a wild cowboy. So I don't really want to hear certain nasty things. You know what I'm saying? That's just my style. You see, he makes a mistake. He tries to make it seem like, you know, he slayed that before. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And he breaks the agreement when he does that, I believe. Well, we're going to let the girl break it down for you.
What's up, y'all? Lily Venus here. Pretty big, literally in my bio. I'm only bringing this up because Chud the Builder's cameraman put our conversation on Broadway on YouTube. Now, millions of people know what I look like fresh off work, right? But in the caption, it said that Black woman who used to smoke mid and get raw dogged by Chud the Builder. Well, he's not lying. I already told y'all we used to smoke. He used to sell me weed. And we did raw dog a lot. Me, him, and my ex-wife. I am a professional pegger. It is no secret that I...
All right. This is where I tell you it gets bizarre. You know what I'm saying? I might put it in the commentary. I might not.
Perform prostate massages, if you will, for men. I've been doing it for a very long time now. We sign NDA agreements. I talk about me pegging all the time, but I never tell you names because discretion is key. Confidentiality is why my client...
Non-disclosure, pegging. Oh, man. You have the right to know.
Chud mentioned it first. I think.
Yo, look at Chud in the bottom left with the fairy outfit. Oh man. And it just kept getting worse. When it rains, it pours for Chud. From the beginning, it was one thing, then the next thing, then the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. He was in court for the shooting, right? Then they kick him out the restaurant. Then the girl blows him up that he's whatever. He does what he does. They spit on him for doing that stupid stuff he does. He's the guy that spit on him, slapped him too, or he got slapped by the other guy. And he started to feel the pressure to the point where he called the cops, and the cops didn't care. Like, his life is a wreck, and it's because he's being a dumbass, and he's too stupid to even realize, because of all this negative shit I'm putting out there, karma's biting me in the ass hard. You know, no pun intended.
I think that he said it the way he said it because the white supremacists were probably like, ew, you used to hang out with a black girl, shame on you. So you had to make it sound good. See, here's the thing. I'm an egregore too. Lily Venus, hi. Hail the great mother. So I am all about enlightenment, controversy, occultism, witchcraft, and of course, love. So me talking about this is what my brand is about. Let's expose it, bro. So yes, with a big. I have not Dalton since like 2015. He was a little chubbier then. His cheeks used to clap in such like the cutest way.
Man. Now, Chud got into it with a man outside of a courthouse. And according to Chud, this guy unprovoked punched Chud in the face, leading to Chud, I guess, letting his firearm off, hitting the guy who punched him, and then hitting himself. Now, I want y'all to hear Chud's version of it.
And then hitting himself. This story ends after all that stuff he went through for negativity. Karma is destroying him, and it ends with not only him shooting somebody and getting charged with attempt murder, he shot his own self. If this ain't enough to make you walk the straight and narrow, I don't know if anything will.
Events. All right, y'all listen to this.
I walked past him, he was sitting on the corner. I walked up to him because they're pointing at me. They're laughing, they were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the?"
Now I seen other footage from another video, and in the other footage from the other video, they said that he fabricates all this, and that they discover it on the security footage, and he's his statement is false. That's what it boils down to. So now he's giving them a false statement.
You like the new suit? He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said, "You start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me. They're all publicly saying, if y'all assault this guy, we'll make you rich. What the fuck?
You got a pair of shears on you?
I don't.
I'll cut the sleeve off.
All right, I'll get one. Yeah, we'll try that.
Well, let's see. Give me a pair of Logan shears. Okay, see if I got a pair.
This brought him to the point of this. He's literally talking while he's bleeding. You know, like you could bleed out. He could have died, because at one point I hear them talking about a tourniquet. So they're stopping the bleeding. If they're using a tourniquet, there's a chance of you losing your life from bleeding out.
The rest of your coat here, take the sleeve off of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Mr. Stroller? Hey.
I can walk, sir.
All right, sir. We'll get you. So he's got a graze right there. Looks like the gene goes out right there.
It's cutting the circulation off.
Yeah, that's what the
tourniquet on
there.
there.
It's controlled right now. Yeah. I don't know what it was before. The officer put this on, so we didn't.
Okay.
You know what time you placed it?
Not the exact time.
It's been a while.
It's been 50 minutes.
We probably trying to lose here.
Yeah. We get a pressure dressing on it. Yeah.
We'll take it off of you, all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's not. It went through.
Yeah. It's in and out.
It's not great.
He's gonna be okay.
There's actual penetrating injury.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, coming in and out. That's great. Great. Okay.
Good.
About that time. 10 minutes ago. What's your name, sir?
Dalton.
Dalton.
Heatherly.
Etherly.
Yes, sir.
E-A-T-H.
Yes, sir. E-R-L-Y.
L-Y. Do you take any medicines, Dalton?
No, sir.
All right. Are you already taking medicine?
No.
Okay.
I know it hurts, hon. Can I just pull your arm out just slightly?
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay. Was it a throw and
There, you're
through,
good.
y'all?
You can relax it.
See it. Yeah. All right. Now let's see what we got going on.
Did I shoot myself or
Well, you
did it graze it?
you penetrated, yeah. Look at this.
I got more 4x4 for you too.
Skill one.
Sounds good. Are you going to be the one that's going to the villa?
I wish he'd have just walked away, man.
10-4.
Let's see if he has pulse ox on it. See if it has flow. If it's not tight enough, that
You're going out to Maine?
Yeah, we're just going to Maine. Okay. Where did you get it?
I got it from what's it called?
I got it. What's that? That's fine. We use the one on the monitor. Mr. Dalton, how old are you, sir?
28.
28. You said no meds. Are you allergic to anything?
No.
All right.
He's 28. Hold on.
Take anything. On a scale of 1 out of 10 right now, what's your level of discomfort?
It's probably a 6.
6.
I can't skip the sad. It's too good.
Again, he claims this group of guys seeing him, was pointing at him, making fun of him. All he did was ask them if they liked his new suit, and then pretty much he was assaulted. He says that the guy told him, if you say any of that chimp out shit to me, I'm gonna punch you. In the audio where Chud is talking to the police right there, he doesn't say that he said that. Chud was actually arrested. He was charged with attempted murder because that's exactly what he attempted to do here. And keep in mind, this is after he posted that tweet pretty much proclaiming that this is exactly how this scenario was going to end. And now the guy that he actually shot, his name was Joshua. He is a veteran of the United States military.
He shot somebody who fought for the country. While he walks around and makes insulting, disrespectful videos, you get yourself into some stuff where people who recognize you hate you, and you ask people if they want water, and they recognize who you are. They know you're the guy who does that messed up stuff, and they tell you to beat it. And this happens, and you end up shooting somebody who fought for our country.
He said, we as bondsmen in Montgomery County have local rules which would require a bonding company per $100,000 bond. Sometimes they allow a single bonding company to go up to $250,000 depending on the circumstances. So that will make it to where at the very least there would need to be at least 9 bail bonds companies involved, if not more, depending on the judge's decision. But I will say that out of the 20 companies that are here, the majority of us have said that we won't touch the bond due to the severity of the case, and this man being a threat to our community. So realistically, if he doesn't have the 1.25 million, he will probably still be sitting there. I think he meant to say even if he has the 1.25 million.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, your foolishness made it get as bad as can be. And just when I thought nothing else bad could happen to the man, they say even if you raise the $1 million, we ain't letting you out. Just to anybody out there that thinks Chud is cool, to not follow his lead. Yeah, he's facing 20 plus years, you know? Right there. When you sit back and watch everything that happened in the video, one thing becomes obvious. Negativity eventually starts feeding on itself. It's like every bad decision started creating another bad situation, and another, until the whole thing finally collapsed in on itself. And honestly, that's the part I want people to really pay attention to. This didn't just start with one isolated incident. This was a pattern, a lifestyle, a mindset, going into neighborhoods looking for confrontation, antagonizing strangers, calling people racial slurs, comparing human beings to animals, escalating situations while armed, chasing reactions for views, money, attention, and clout. And eventually the energy you put into the world starts circling back to you. That's why throughout this whole video, it felt like every situation kept getting worse. First the charge, then getting slapped and spit on in public by people who weren't scared of him, even though he had a firearm, then calling the police after spending all this time acting tough online, then the police themselves basically acknowledging they understood he was out there provoking people, then the FBI questions him, then private parts of his life start getting exposed publicly after he broke his own NDA trying to look cool for the camera. Then restaurants don't want him there. They kick him out. Then more backlash, then more humiliation, then more chaos. And the craziest part is, even after all the trolling and all the reckless behavior, the thing that may finally destroy his life completely wasn't internet drama. It was real life. A real person got shot. A military veteran with PTSD got shot. And in the middle of all that, this man accidentally shot himself too. And I'm not even saying that to clown him. I'm saying it because it perfectly symbolizes the whole situation. When you spend enough time creating chaos, eventually the chaos hits everybody involved, including you. That's why I keep saying this is bigger than internet entertainment to me. This is what happens when somebody turns humiliation, division, and provocation into a career path. This is what happens when clout becomes more important than wisdom, when attention becomes more important than peace, when money becomes more important than humanity. And let me be clear before I end this, I do not celebrate this man's downfall. I don't celebrate violence. I don't celebrate prison. I don't celebrate destruction. I don't care how much I disagree with somebody. I still recognize they're a human being. But I do believe in accountability, and I do believe people should learn from this story, because every single person on earth is under pressure. Everybody's trying to survive. Everybody's chasing something: money, meaning, respect, security, attention. But the method matters. The choices matter. Character matters. You cannot build a healthy life on hatred and expect peace to come of it. Eventually, the bill is due. And when I look at this whole situation, the real tragedy to me, a young man who still had time to change his life decided to keep walking deeper into negativity until the negativity finally swallowed him whole. It's your boy Spank Dog. You already know. Much love, real love. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night.